Morning, folks. This is the best time of the year. Everything's getting busy. Finally, the rain seems to have backed off and we can start getting things planted. We've been doing a little bit, as you've seen, but now we can start getting some seeds in the ground. Potentially a little bit early, but I've got a way of getting around that one. So what I'm going to do in here is, because this is a very heavily manured raised bed, things like carrots can't go in there because they'll just go all over the place. But one thing that does like manure and heavy manure is beetroot. So what I'm doing this morning is beetroot planting. All I've done is I've cut a piece of old roofing batten, and then all I'm doing is about 6 to 8 inches apart. I'm pushing, as you can see, pushing this in to make a nice straight line. I'll do 3 for now. There we go. We can put them in like so. Right, there we have that. You may or may not see it on there, but it's about half an inch deep, which is deep enough. The problem I do have, let me get some beetroot. I'm doing 3 varieties of beetroot this year, which I've done the same as I did last year, which actually very, very good. And if you like this, or like beetroot, do this. And if you like my channel and you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, because it makes a huge difference to my channel and to me. And the comments, I love the comments. But what we then do is spread the seeds reasonably thinly, but not too thin, because you can thin them out as they grow, because some will grow well and some won't, but you kind of want to ensure that you get a good show of beetroot. So all we're doing is reasonably thin. I'm taking a little bit more time because it saves on the seeds. And there we go. That one there, that's the first row in. And so as to not waste the seeds, they cost money, you know. And this one is the Detroit. Right, and once we've got those in, what we then do, just bring over some of the compost and just cover them in. As simple as that. And I've already made up a label which I put into the ground there, so that I can see what they are and where they are. So then we're going to go for a mixed. I had these last year and they were really good, but it's a mixed beetroot, different colours. When you start bringing them up and out of the ground, they really look good, and surprisingly quite tasty too. But we're get these ones in, and we're just getting excited about spring. Just everything about spring. It's just, here we go. Finally, the winter weather has dragged right on until April, and so far, even the April showers have lived up to their expectations, which means the ground has been too wet to do anything. I mean, we got a little forecasted dry spell at the moment, of which obviously what I'm trying to do is make as much headway as possible whilst I've got a chance, because later in the week, I think it's forecast, I need a couple more, it's forecast to be wet again, which we've all had enough of it. I mean, you know, I don't know about obviously internationally, but in uh, in the UK, we've all had enough of it. It's just been absolutely horrendous this winter. I mean, the locals have said for generations that they've never known it to be as wet as this. There we go. That's those ones, and then we'll have the third ones, which will go in there. Is we're going to be put these back in their packets so that we don't lose sight of them all, and then we'll put the third row in on this one. Oh, come on, open up packet. It doesn't want to open up. It's being a bit miserable. Come on. There we go. And we'll just say reasonably thin, not too thin, but reasonably. I'm trying to cross between being thrifty and foolish. There we go. There's a couple there that need to be moved along a little bit. There we go. And then we just cut that over. Literally just cover them over like so. Just a gentle pat down. Nothing nasty. Because at the moment we're getting the warm days. There we go. A little gentle pat down. We're getting the warmer days now. So soil temperatures, which meant to be around about the 10 degrees, I reckon. Well, we're hitting that during the day. Not a problem. We're getting those temperatures. That soil now is ideal for sowing, but the night temperatures are still dropping down very low, which is a little concerning for a lot of growers. But this old polycarb sheeting, I've got a lot of sheets of this I use for many different things. We'll go over like so. I'll just lay it on there to stop a bit of wind. Shouldn't travel. That now is going to keep the heat in, and hopefully it will keep a sufficient heat in overnight and allow those to germinate. And hopefully we get a lovely display of beetroot. But yeah, it's just getting on with everything now. It's really, it's exciting. This is what we've been working towards, getting these raised beds built so that I can make my gardening easier for myself, make growing easier for myself. I know what's gone into there is very nutritious for the plants, and I should, in theory, get an absolutely stonking supply of beetroot. So that's one little job that I'm starting to do now. Is we're doing that, and we'll go on to the next bit in a second. I'll move you. Of where I'm starting to now fill the tyres. But spring is here, definitely here. It's about bloody time, but it's good. T-shirt weather. Yes, dogs are happy laying out, catching the sun. I'm busy putting in what I am going to be eating later this year. Naturally grown, healthy foods. You can't beat it. Anyway, let's get you to the tyres. There you go. Tyre time. Stop at that one. Right, next little step is tyre time. got a tyre, I've got it in the position. You can see for that one, I've got two there. That one there, that's going to be one of my potato towers. But this one I'm going to be putting in because it needs to get in the ground a bit quick. And this is a spearmint. Oh, it's beautiful. And they're ideal for containerized growing because they spread like wildfire. What I will do once that's established in here, I'll probably take some cuttings and bring them on, and then I'm going to scatter the cuttings around my woodland to try and produce the forest larder. But what we've got to do is the base, old cardboard box, and first things first, putting down the cardboard so that it stops the weed growth. And we've got Muffy in that position there. There's a bit of wrapping paper, cardboard, there we go. And with a little bit of luck, that'll do. I mean, it's surprisingly quick. I mean, just got to think about it a little bit. There we go. Well, so now I've done that, I mean, it's so, the planting process, it's wonderful. It is quick. Once you get your head round the idea of it, and what I'm going to be doing just to use up, this is compost from the Tyre towers of last year, which is still pretty good, but obviously to the point there's a potato trying to grow, and that was actually in the bag, but it's still, there's a stone, but just packing it into the sides like so, and I've got enough of this bag here because it's trying not to waste any part of everything I use. And we're just going to put all the worms in there, nice red ones, and just packing it in there. There we go. And that's a mixture of old soil and compost. And then what we're going to do is make a hole in the middle there. Well, there's a stone in there we don't need. There we go. Then we're going to get the mint, stick the label there. You see on the bottom there, the roots where they're trying their hardest to establish, so they're struggling, they're a little bit pot bound. And the key to it, I think all these are definitely a bit dry as well, but it'll all come to life, is to gently tease, as you can see what I'm doing here, gently tease the roots from the bottom. Don't rip at them too much and don't break them up too much. I know mint is a very sturdy plant, quite a hardy plant, but you still want to be a little bit gentle with the roots, and give the sides a bit of a gentle rub, just so that you can free up the roots a little bit. There we go. It's nice and freeing them all up, and that, here we go, nice and gentle. That's the only way you're going to do it. And then we got, we're almost there. Right, that should be enough. I'll just teasing the bottoms out a little bit more, putting it in the ground. There we go. And then packing this nice wet, because this one needs it, compost around it. And I shall be getting a bit more compost. There we go, that's in there. I should be getting a bit more compost in there just to fill that up. And then what we have, hopefully, this will really brush out. Take a year or so, maybe 2 years, really bush out. And then, mint, lovely, new potatoes, fresh potatoes, salads, tea. So many things you can use that mint for. But, and that's how we get that bit planted. Well, I haven't got, yes I have. I'm going to go and get it. I'll finish it off while we're talking to you. But I just hope that everybody's becoming happier within themselves now, because spring is here and it's definitely happening. That sun, vitamin D from the sun, it just makes everybody generally happier. Good for the mental health and all of that jazz, isn't it? So, but I'm just now busy, very nicely busy. Fresh compost, look at that. There we go. Look at that. We get another one of them in a second. And that, my little beauties, there's another little plant in the ground. And I've got a lot to get in the ground. I planted up in different places. I thought an awful lot because time hasn't been with us this year because of the rain. I mean, the ground's been too wet. There's no point. If you try to put a seed in this time of the year, it'll rot. I got caught out last year and I had to reseed half my garden because everything went in great, went in on time, the weather was looking good, forecast was looking good, and then we had an unseasonable amount of rain and all the seeds rotted. That's half of one side of my allotment. Yeah, it's disheartening, but life does that to us in many different ways, and you just got to sort of, pick yourself up, dust yourself down and carry on. So I dug it over again, fresh seeds in there. Yeah, it really was disheartening that happened, but I persevered, and yeah, I did get a very good set of crops. So you got to persevere with things. It's there's no easy fix. There's no quick dopamine hit doing this sort of work. This stuff's going in the ground now. A lot of it I'm not going to see until the autumn. So there's no dopamine quick hit with that. Time, patience, Mother Nature. She works in funny ways, doesn't she? And there we go. Raw compost in there to lift it up. There's plenty of moisture in the lower, but I will give a little bit of watering tonight to get that one going. But with the day like this, I mean, it's not as bright now as it was, as you can see, but I have managed to get my first air dried laundry. There's only a couple of bits left there now, but it's summer's coming, boys and girls. But just bring you in here quickly because I want you to see this. Look at that. That was just a spider planted up in just a very little pot, as you can see, last year. Look at those two beauties going on there. There's another one there. They're absolutely gorgeous. And I've got over here, I mean, there's loads. I am going to be inundated with strawberries this year. Where I've got more, there's more. They're everywhere. Look at those. And they're in there. They're everywhere. They're coming up on here. I've now got to carry on because I need to get this one out. This is my Moroccan mint. That's going to be going out in a little bit. And I'm going to probably try and get the bushes out as well over the next 24 hours, because not that I rely on the weather forecast per se, because I mean it can always change, but on the guidelines being I've got about 3 days where I can get stuff in the ground and not get rained upon. But anyway, from me for now, I will say goodbye because I want to get on, because I'm watching things grow. My tomatoes grow, my radishes coming up, everything's growing, my potatoes are growing, my melons are growing, everything's growing, and the year is growing. So you take care, people. There's some strawberries that have got to be put another job planted out, and we'll speak to you soon. Please comment. I love the comments, and hopefully the chicken logo or logo will be there for my mission chickens, because I'm still working on that as well. So take care for now. Keep smiling. Be happy. You know it confuses the enemy. Ta-da for now.